in a tribunal office. What this means is I deal with failed marriages every day, all day. In order to understand my job, there are two things you first need to understand. First, I gotta think about it. First is the difference between divorce and a declaration of nullity. Divorce is saying there was once this marriage and now the marriage is broken. That's divorce. A declaration of nullity is similar but different. Instead of saying, yes, there's a valid marriage and we're now going to break it, we are saying, this marriage that everyone thought was actually a valid marriage, it turns out it wasn't a valid marriage, and here's why. Reason A, B, C, or D. So the difference there really is what happened at the beginning of the marriage. What happened during the marriage, what happened right after the marriage. The second thing that's really important to understand are the words of Christ. Christ says in Matthew 19, some of the Pharisees came to him to test him. They asked, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any and every reason? Haven't you read," he replied, "that in the beginning the Creator made them male and female? He said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate." "Why then," they asked, "did Moses command that a man give his wife a certificate of divorce and send her away?" Jesus replies, "Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because your hearts were hard. But it was not this way from the beginning. I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another woman commits adultery." Anyone who divorces, when Christ says anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality, the sexual immorality that he's talking about here is not like adultery or something like that. The sexual immorality is living together as husband and wife before you're actually husband and wife. In that case, it is permissible, even if there's children from that union, it is permissible to move out, essentially, to divorce your relationship, even though there is no relation put in place. In a way, there's a third thing you need to understand in order to understand my job, which is there's a big difference between relationship and relation. A relationship can be broken at any time. A relation I can never break. My sister comes to mind. I can form a relationship with my sister. I can call her every day, see how she's doing, or I cannot. There's a relationship goes up and down, and it might cease to exist altogether. The relation, on the other hand, will always be there. I will always be the brother of my sister. My sister will always be my sister. Marriage is not just about the relationship, it's also about the relation. There is a permanent relation there, or there's not a permanent relation there. And that's where my job kicks in with the declarations of nullity, saying, no, this relation was never established. This relation never came into being. It was just relationship. I'll probably be talking about this more through these 40 days of Lent, but for now, I just wanted to give a quick intro as to what goes on in my work, what I do for a living. Jackie and I are going to marriage prep with one of our priests. Thanks.
It's really anticlimactic that we talk about annulments after marriage, but it's not very romantic.